Have you ever been married? I haven't yet, but soon that's all going to change. Oh yeah. Today I am here with an incredibly special guest. That's right. He's my betrothed, Timothy Michael Blewett. And we're here today to discuss our wedding that is taking place on Friday, August 29th. You will hear juicy topics ranging from the whole behind the scenes of our engagement story, what wedding planning has taught me and Tim about our self-development journey, the realizations getting married has given us about our relationship and the relationships we have with friends and family, and why I no longer believe in the concept of Bridezillas. Yeah, I said it. Justice for Bridezillas. We're going to get into that. So now let's do it. Welcome to the Unleash Your Inner Creative wedding special. And I guess I should say I'm Laura Lagrasso. I am your host, and I would be so honored to introduce you to my illustrious guest. He's actor, writer, thought leader, teacher, and fiancé, Mr. Timothy Michael Blewett. Welcome to the program, honey.
Thank you very much. Happy to be here.
Oh, so honored to have you. Thank you for making time in your busy schedule to come on the wedding special.
It's so busy between stuffing the gifts for all of our guests,
yes,
the party favors.
Yeah. And by stuffing gifts, he means making guest bags, y'all.
Making guest bags.
He's not taking gifts and then stuffing them with stuffing or other things.
Taking down the recycling.
Oh, yeah.
Every box that comes in has to be taken down.
Our house has become a Costco warehouse. That is true.
Things are busy over here.
Oh, we're just busy little bees. You know, before we get too deep into it, I want to say I've been taking a break from the podcast, and I've truly missed doing the show. And it was absolutely necessary. There is no way I could have been putting out a weekly podcast for the past month. We've just been slammed with wedding stuff. Any hours that I'm not working, I am working on wedding. So thank you for bearing with me as this break has happened. It's been weird, but so important, and I can't wait to get back in September. But this is a little sustenance to hold you over until then, and me, frankly. So given that, talking about how busy it's been, we are T-minus 10 days until we wed. I cannot believe it. It feels like just yesterday we got engaged, but given that we were so close, honey, how do you feel?
I feel everything all at once.
Wow, it's just like that movie. Life truly imitates art.
I mean, you're right. Like we got engaged in October, and there was like this elevated feeling to life at the onset of the engagement of like, wow, like we're doing it, we're committing to each other in this way, and we have to plan a wedding now, but it's going to be fun. And I still remember when your parents and yourself and myself, we all went out to like look for these venues, and it just seemed like it was so leisurely and so nice, and we're going to some of the most beautiful places in Southern California. And then we found our venue, we signed the contract around December, the beginning of January. And ever since then, it's like time has just been accelerating at a rate that I don't even know what to call it. The wedding acceleration rate.
The wedding speed of light.
Wedding speed of light. Because even
of white.
Wedding speed of white. Even so, there was still like, oh, it's okay. We got time. We have, 8 months. We got 7 months. We got 4 months, 3 months. Even when we had a month and a half to go, and then it was just like, that time is gone. We've got 10 days. It's here. It's time.
Yeah, it really has sped by so quickly. I cannot believe we're getting married next week. Like, it is still 10 days away, but that means we're getting married next week. Like, it just befuddles my mind. I don't know. Like, I'm so happy we're here, and it also seems surreal. And I'm like, is it really going to happen? Like, we're going to do this.
Oh, we're doing it. We're going to do this.
We're in pretty deep at this point. No, I'm just so excited. Yeah, like I cannot believe it's here. Exactly what you said. Like it's kind of like how it feels in life. Like each week as you get closer to wedding, it feels like time is moving faster and faster and faster until you're just at a clip that you're like, I don't even know if I'm here or present or if I'm just like in another dimension, but we're about to enter the dimension of the wedding day. So we'll find out.
That's that feeling. That is everywhere, everything everywhere all at once.
Yeah. So true. So, okay, before we go forward, I think we should go back because I realized in coming into this episode that I have never told our engagement story on the podcast. So I think we should go back. That was a rewind. And tell the engagement story of how this gorgeous ring came to be on my little flangey here.
It is a gorgeous ring, if I do say so myself.
It is. And we'll even talk about how you ended up choosing it.
Yes, we will.
Yes,
we will. All right. So where do we begin?
I think we should begin by saying we had talked about getting engaged.
Mm-hmm.
So we discussed getting engaged by our 3-year anniversary, which was October 3rd, 2024.
Mm-hmm.
And so as time was going on, it was getting closer and closer to the day, and we weren't engaged yet. And I'm like, he's really waiting right until the deadline. But I'm like, that's cool because that's what we talked about. And, I had said some things to you. I didn't drop hints. I'm not a very subtle person, I've come to realize in life. I think for a while I thought I was subtle, but I'm not subtle at all. So I was dropping not hints, like directives on what exactly I wanted from a ring. I was like, I want an oval ring. And I want it to be at least 3 carats. And I want it to be like with the little diamonds around. So like I had told him what I wanted because, I never really thought I'd get married until I met Tim. Like you were the first time I met someone and I was like, oh, that actually sounds nice. It doesn't sound terrifying. It sounds quite lovely. But I always knew no matter what, if an engagement were to happen over the course of my life, I wanted the ring to weigh my hand into the ground. And I'm not very materialistic in other ways, but I do love shiny things. And I knew I wanted something that was shiny enough to see from a distance. So that was what I told you, but I didn't tell you anything else, and we did not design the ring together.
Right. Yeah.
So that's just a little ring tidbit for you.
Yeah. Which honestly, it made my job a lot easier. So it's I will say there's nothing easy about buying an engagement ring.
What was the hardest part?
The hardest part was the budget, I think, putting together a budget that doesn't break the bank, a budget that is not measly, but it's not like I'm going into tremendous debt to afford this. So finding the right budget and finding something that you would be proud to show off and proud to wear, like this is important, and say what you will. And everyone comes from a different standpoint. This is something else that I learned. Like the same thing that worked for us is not going to work for other people.
Yeah.
And I was reading Reddit threads. I was doing all kinds of research. And there were a lot of people out there who said, like, I don't care. I love the person. We got our rings from Amazon, or we got like $10 rings online, or someone even said like my betrothed or my boyfriend proposed with a ring pop, and it worked for them. And somebody else had commented like, he better not propose with a ring pop. So there's all kinds of different things work for all kinds of different people. But for me, because you were so clear about what you wanted, I wanted to get as close to what you wanted as possible, and something that you'd be proud of.
Yeah. And I mean, of course that's the truth too, right? Like the hardest and most important thing is finding the person that you want to be with forever. But if there is an item of clothing or jewelry that you know for a fact you'll wear every day for the rest of your life, it's got to be something you enjoy looking at, because this is my view forever now. So I would honestly, like, I think I told you at one point, I'm like, I would rather have the ring I want than like having a big blowout wedding. Like, because this is going to be forever. The wedding is one day. Mm-hmm. So I really appreciated it. And I think I even said to you at one point, which this is a real diamond, but I think I said to you at one point, I'm like, I'd rather have a huge cubic zirconia than a teeny tiny speck that I can't see that's a real diamond. Mm-hmm. So that's how strongly I felt about having some sort of ring that weighed me down.
Yeah. So this is where I had to do my own research. So you said I wanted 3 carats, and you wanted pave, which is the diamonds on the side.
Oh, okay. I didn't call it that.
French for paved, for those that are keeping track.
Je suis la jeune fille.
So I then had to discover everything about what diamonds are, because I knew nothing. I just, in my mind, I was like, they're expensive and they're forever. That's what I know about diamonds. So I looked into the 4 C's, cut color, clarity, and carat.
Okay.
I really looked into, the cut, the clarity, all of that. And I took it to a diamondologist to get it set because I got the stone by itself. And I thought, like, well, you and I are both artists. We appreciate craft. Let me try to assemble these together. And the stone that I got, it was cut on May 20th, 2024. Yes, the stone that I got was cut on May 20th, 2024, and May 20th, 2021 is when I met you.
Wow. It was meant to be.
It was meant to be. And that was just serendipity. So I was looking at all my options and then I saw that and I was like, okay, I have to get this one. Like it's everything else that she wants. It's the right color, I believe, cut, clarity, and the fact that it was cut at this specific time on this specific date. I thought, okay, this has to be.
Yeah. And it was wild because the website that you got the diamond from, I had been like looking on it in the same time frame that you had gotten the diamond. And I literally took a screenshot of a ring on there and I said, this would be good for Tim to get. And I sent it to my mom. And it was right around the time that I found out you bought the diamond from this website. So I feel like we were communicating telepathically. Because I was like, this is a great ring. It's a great budget.
Yeah, it was meant to be. And I think that's another key for the fellas out there that want to, or for anyone who wants to propose with a diamond ring.
Fellas, ladies, and non-binary kings/queens.
Exactly. As long as the key is getting very close to what you believe your significant other wants and desires and feeling good about it. So even if you get something that doesn't hit all the marks, if you've done your research and you've poured over it and you've put your time into it and thought and effort and energy and you feel good about it, I guarantee that's the best decision you can make.
Beautiful. So you get the ring.
So I got the ring.
Yeah.
And then I had to keep it a secret from you.
Which isn't easy because I like to do some investigative journalism, as you may know.
Not easy at all. Not easy at all. And also we live together. So I needed to make sure that I had it in a place that you wouldn't see.
Bingo. The funny part is that I actually signed for my own ring and I didn't know it.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Because he got delivered because he got the ring from this website, or the stone from the website, and then went and got it set at a local retailer around here. But I signed for the ring and I was like, I wonder what Tim's getting in this small box.
They were supposed to call me. That was because their whole thing is we're very discreet and it comes in the mail, and because it's in the mail, we don't want anybody to know what it is, so that there's no funny business or theft or anything like that. So they were supposed to give me a call specifically so I could pick it up, but they didn't.
It's okay. We're not calling the company out. And also, I didn't know what it was. I literally thought, because it wasn't like the size of a ring box. It was the size of a small box. I'm like, I really wonder what Tim is getting.
Yeah. I forget what I told you it was.
I don't think I pressed you harder because I think I did. In me, I had a thought like, what if it's the ring? So anyway, so you get the ring, you get it set, and it's getting closer, ever closer to our anniversary date. Mm-hmm. And so my parents are coming into town. Mm-hmm. And what do you do?
So I know that your parents are coming into town. What was the occasion?
I think they were coming in for my mom's birthday.
Your mom's
my mom's
birthday.
birthday is September 27th. And so they were coming in just to hang out. Like they usually come in at least once a year and spend a couple weeks with us because we have a guest bedroom and it's just a nice time to have a little family time.
This is where I begin to put my plan in motion. Up to this point in time, I've actually spoken to Patrick Murphy, who's now going to be the best man at our wedding. He's
friend of the show.
My best man.
And he's been on the podcast.
That's right. Yeah. So I had been asking him of just like, I need some help putting something together. What do you think? Is it best to go out to a restaurant? Is it best to do it at home? Is it best to do the whole 9 yards, bells and whistles? Is it best to have an intimate thing? We had talked at least for an hour and a half, moving through possibilities. And then he was my wingman the whole process through of like, let me know what you're thinking. Let me know how I can help out. And then I learned that your parents were going to be coming into town for your mom's birthday. So I knew, okay, that is so close to our anniversary, October 3rd, which I want to, like, that's the day that I want to propose. So since they're already coming into town, I'm not going to arouse too much suspicion with them already being out here. And I had a feeling that you wanted them to be present in some capacity.
Yeah, and I think I may have told you that at some point.
Yeah, and I wasn't exactly sure how I was going to include them yet, but I knew, okay, they're gonna be out here already. That means I don't have to make a big show. Like if they came out, if they weren't planning on coming out, and all of a sudden they were here, that might have tipped you off a little.
Yeah.
So I used this to my advantage of like they're already here, and I didn't want your mom to know yet because I thought, you and she are so close that
we talk every day.
Any sort of like giddiness or extra energy in coming out here to come see you, it could have given the surprise away.
And to be fair, my mom has very rarely been able to keep a secret from me. I mean, like one time I literally caught her like planning my surprise party, and then I found out, and then I had to pretend to be surprised at my surprise party. So like her and I both knew I wasn't going to be surprised, but none of the people coming in. So I acted all surprised. Hey, if you're listening and you were at my 17th birthday, I knew.
You heard it here.
You heard it here. Breaking news. Put it
news.
on the headlines. So I think that was a fair call. But you did want to give my dad a little heads up.
Yeah, because I really wanted to do the whole traditional thing of like asking your dad for his permission and his blessing and that whole thing. So I wanted him also to kind of know to maybe like plan ahead a little bit of like I want to be asking you these things. So I just sent him a text and I thought it was very like slick and like wasn't giving too much away, but was definitely laying the hint of like, I'd like to have an in-person conversation with you about something very important. Because my text to him was like, great, excited to see you when you come out. By the way, I'm planning something very special for our anniversary on October 3rd. If you and Joanne wanted to stay out a little bit longer, you might want to consider staying and leaving the next day or the day after that, or leaving that weekend.
And my dad, being the absolute literal person that he is, what did he say back to you?
He sent a very direct text.
Blunt.
Very direct and blunt, and was just, oh no, actually we have to be in Buffalo for another event, visiting some family. So we're heading out on the 2nd.
And he said, literally, I want to steer clear of your anniversary.
Yeah, wanted to steer clear of your anniversary. So we'll be leaving the 2nd. Thank you.
Yeah. So like in his own way, he was like, I want to give you guys alone time. Totally having it go over his head that Tim was trying to give him a signal that he was going to ask me to marry him.
So then, lo and behold, your mom gets wind of the text somehow, and I don't know how she got it, but she may have asked your dad.
I'm sure my dad was like, "Oh, Jimmy reached out to me, told him we're gonna leave."
Yeah, and she was like, "Well, what exactly did that text say?"
And then she read it, and she goes, "Mike, he was trying to give you a signal. It's clear that he was trying to propose to Lauren. You need to write him back. You need to write him back right now." So my mom acted as my dad's personal chat GPT and wrote up a sparkling response for Timmy and said, actually, we would love to stay and I'd love to talk to you and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. And so, and I received that text, and I don't know that I responded immediately, if at all, because
I don't think you responded.
By that time they were going to come out in a couple days. And I didn't know what to do, because now I'm reformulating the plan of like, okay, so they were coming out, now they're leaving, they're not going to be here, so I have to figure something else out. And I just thought I'll figure it out when I ask for the permission and the blessing. When he gets here, I'll figure it out then.
So they get here, we're having a great time, and one day Tim and my dad go out to coffee, and I didn't think anything of it. I mean, I kind of hoped, because again, we're getting close to the deadline here. Okay. So I kind of hoped that, Tim would be having a very special conversation with my dad, but I also didn't think like necessarily anything was happening. A lot of times they like will get together and talk about business and like just share, and like, they've got their own relationship too. So I thought maybe this is one of those occasions. I'm not going to get my hopes up just in case. So they go out, and I'm typing away, click clack on my computer.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it couldn't have been more perfect. We go out to Heirloom Cafe.
Yeah,
and
a great local business.
Great local business. We're originally going to sit on the inside, but it's kind of crowded. There's a lot of like clamor, so we get a nice seat outside on the patio. And your dad then is ordering your mom's birthday gift.
Oh, he was?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because you were like So, Mike, I really want to ask you. He's like, hold on, this is a call for Joanne. And then he was like taking a call about flowers or something.
I want flowers delivered, and I want them at this address, so I need them soon. Then, then he hangs up, and, okay, Timmy, so what do you want to talk about? Like, well, sir.
So what exactly did you say to him? Just paint the picture for me. I want to hear it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think I said something to the effect of, Lauren and I are getting a lot more serious, and we're combining our lives together in this way. And, she means a lot to me. And over the years, like, I've just really come to know her and to love her on this deeper level. And then I think I just cut to the chase, and I just said, I just wanted to ask you out first to ask for your permission and your blessing if I could ask for her hand in marriage.
And what did my dad say?
And I think I'm guessing he was expecting it. I'm not sure, but I think he was like, well, yeah, I think that this is good, and is essentially like it was a long time coming, and he thinks that we're good together, and we've got a lot of growing to do together. And
he said we have growing to do together.
No, not like that, but it was just like you two complement each other really well, and it seems like you're growing in this direction, and if you continue, you could grow, and you could grow even more and have a beautiful life together.
Aw. So you got the 2 thumbs up for rock and roll from Michael Grasso?
I got the 2 thumbs up. Yeah. Yeah. And it felt good too. Like, obviously I was very nervous before we went out for that coffee. Like, I was psyching myself up and just being like, okay, like, you got to do this. Like, it's a rite of passage in my mind. You know? But then afterwards and receiving the blessing and the permission, it was just kind of like, wow, this is great, and it kind of like gave me even more courage to move on to the next step. And he did say in that moment too, he was like, great, now we do have to bring your mom into it.
Joanne. Yeah,
we do have to bring Joanne into it because, it's so much better that we were all in on it together, and it just worked. Yeah.
You can't leave my mom out of a plan.
Yeah.
Even my mom can create a little extra ruckus, but she also creates a lot of extra magic. You got to hand it to her.
It's true.
You got to hand it to her. So, okay, you end up telling my mom. My dad and I go into Whole Foods to do a little grocery shopping because we love the supermarket, my dad and I. And while my dad and I are in Whole Foods, talk to my mom and tell her what's going on.
Yeah. So she in that moment, like when you and your dad go into Whole Foods, she's like, so Timmy, Mike told me about your plan, and I think it's wonderful. And she was all for it. I'm just like, I think it's wonderful. I think you guys are made for each other. You're soulmates. Tell me what we can do. Tell me what you're planning. So I essentially told her my plan, my vision, as she calls it, just that your favorite TV show is The Office.
Yeah.
And I wanted to recreate the way that Michael Scott proposes to Holly with the candles and the thing that he says before he proposes. And I had this idea of just recreating that in our home where there would be control. I felt like I would have more control over the proposal. There wouldn't be like onlookers, no
looky-loos.
No looky-loos. So that was the plan. And leading up to it, I had plans to take you out to where we had our first date at Verse, which is another local joint. And just to sprinkle in like some other things that we had done in our dating life that were like memories. So I got us a money tree
on the day of our anniversary.
On the day of our anniversary, I got us one of those because one of the dates we went on when we were first dating was a place called the Wishing Tree, which no longer exists, unfortunately. But the restaurant was great, like Middle Eastern food. Mm-hmm. And their gimmick was you could write a wish on a little tag and tie it to a tree, and then you could see if your wish came true.
Yeah.
So I did that. I got us these little like yogurt parfaits that we had shared.
When we were first dating, you would always bring them to me, and I would eat them. The way to my heart is snacks.
And I knew it, and I capitalized.
And you also got rosemary.
Yeah, because we had picked rosemary, wild rosemary, on one of this was not a date, but when we first met.
It was actually kind of a date. When you look back on it, we were in a group and then we split off and hung out for 7 hours by ourselves, but I just didn't realize I liked him at that time. Whoopsies. But I made you pick a sprig of wild rosemary. I'm like, pick this. We were on a walk, and I was like, pick this and smell it as we walk.
Yeah, it was great. And I was like, the aromatics, love is in the air. And we like talked to trees as we were walking. And
I was like, you have to talk to this tree.
so on our way to Verse, which is about a 10-minute walk away from where we live, so we were able to just walk there. I had this fresh rosemary that I didn't pick it, but I bought fresh rosemary.
Yeah.
And I said, like, this is for us to walk with as we walk to Verse, and we can smell it, we can remember.
Yeah. So like everything he had done that day was like recreating our falling in love story. Yeah. Like our time of falling in love. So we go to Verse, and I think he's going to propose to me here. Like my parents are in town. We're at this like jazz bar. There's a microphone. Like he's going to get up on the stage and be like, Lauren LaGrasso, I love you. Please be my wife. So like the whole night I'm waiting for him to propose and for my parents to like pop out of the back. And so our appetizer goes by, no proposal. Our dinner goes by, no proposal. After dinner drinks, no proposal. Dessert, no proposal. Bill, no proposal. So I'm like, I'll be damned. He is not proposing today. Well, clock's ticking. You got till the end of the night. No, I just didn't think he was proposing. I was pretty sure you weren't proposing. And we were going to Australia in about a week. So I'm like, okay, well, that's forgivable. He's going to get down at the bottom of the Great Barrier Reef, open up a ring box and be like, here amongst the coral, please be my wife. So I was like, that I can understand. So we start walking home, and what do I do? What?
Well, real quick, do we?
Oh yeah, real quick.
Okay, no, I'll finish this thought. So
no, real quick.
Yeah, I was gonna say real quick. Do we have to talk about your parents?
Almost blowing it?
Yeah, almost blowing it.
Yeah, I wanted to, but you skipped ahead, so I didn't.
Well, we could talk about it. We need to talk about
Hold on. I got to take off my pants. I'm sweating profusely. I'm wearing a dress. Give me 1 second. I'm really sweating. All right. Pants are off. Ready for the story again. So, yeah, if we want to rewind, my parents did almost blow the proposal twice.
Twice?
Yeah. Maybe more than that?
No, I remember once. I remember one almost big moment.
Okay, now almost blow is one moment, but like there were a few times when I'm like, something seriously fucked up is happening here.
Right.
Okay, so there were a few times when something happened that I was like, something is wrong. So, okay, what was the first time? Yes. Okay, we were all driving, and all of a sudden I was like, okay, well, you guys are leaving on the 1st of October, whatever it was. And my mom goes, nope, we're staying. And then my dad goes, yeah, we're staying, with a smile on his face. Now, in order to understand why this is a very, very disturbing moment, you have to know this. Every single time my parents have visited here for over the past decade, almost a decade and a half, my mom decides she wants to stay for longer. My dad fights her tooth and nail and says, Joanne, I need to get home. I've got an appointment. And then after about 2 days of this dance, my dad caves and they stay for longer. Okay? Never in the history of my parents visiting me in Los Angeles has this exact pattern not occurred. So for my dad, my mom to say, I'm saying, and my dad to say, yep, sounds good to me, I knew something really fucked up was happening.
And in my mind, I'm thinking, oh no, like this is the plot has been given away. She's gonna know. And it wasn't, I guess it was weird because you and I both know that they didn't do the dance that they always do. But you had said to me that night, you were like, I don't know, my parents are just acting so weird. You know, like my dad never says like, okay, I'm gonna stay. And so the next day I made sure to tell them when you weren't around.
You pulled him aside.
Yeah. And I just said like, you know, I think Lauren really suspects something. And your mom was like, oh, well, why would that be? And I explained, I said like, well, forever you have always said we're gonna stay, and Mike, you say like, no, I've got to get back. And if you stay, it's like a day, but there's always this hassle. So if there's any way that you could bring it up again and fight a little?
You told them they had to fight. Tim instructed them, you guys got to fight a little bit.
I directed them. I was playing director in this moment of like, in order for the vision to work, you've got to fight a little.
So they did. And it was believable. And then I was like, well, wait, no, they can't leave now because what if he's going to propose? So I was like, my dad said that his friend Ross that he's worked with for almost 50 years was telling him that he had to get back for this case that they were working on. I'm like, can't you just call Ross and tell him no? He said that he called Ross, but he didn't. He never had to go back.
Yeah, poor Ross. He probably
Poor
was
Ross,
none the wiser.
the scapegoat.
So the fighting happened, and then you were back on track. But you did tell me though, you said like everybody's just acting so weird.
Yeah, because then the other thing was my mom invited me. She goes, you know what we haven't done in a while? I go, what? And she goes, get our nails done. Okay, the year was 2024. The last time we went and got our nails done was 2019. So yeah, I'd say it had been a while. And I knew because I told Tim, if you're going to propose, make sure to find a way for me to get my nails done. But the thing that threw me off was we were also going to Australia. And I had told my mom that I wanted to have my nails done for Australia. So I was like, okay, well, yeah, like we can go. I'm just like, I'm stressed right now and I've got all these things going on. She's like, well, you don't have to go. You could also wait till you go to Australia. And I was like, what's going on?
Thrown off the track.
So I was thrown off. So I'm like, okay, well, I should just get them done just in case because you never know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that might have been one of the hardest things because I knew that you had specifically asked that of me. You know, before I propose, you want to make sure that your nails are done and that they look nice. And I was thinking, like, do I ask some of your closest girlfriends? But then I thought, I don't know that I want to involve them because I don't know if they will give it away or you know.
I put you in a tough spot because I notoriously don't have my nails done.
Right.
So it wasn't like I'm like one of those girls that always has their nails perfectly polished.
Right.
They're
right.
typically not done.
But it worked.
Yeah.
You know, your mom was able to pull it off and you got your nails done. Your parents stayed and you believed that they were staying because they were able to make it happen. And then we went out on the date.
Yeah.
Now we can flash forward.
Okay, flash forward. Da-da-da-da.
So we're walking back from Verse back to the apartment. And by the way, when we were leaving Verse, I went to the bathroom and then I was texting with your mom of just okay, we're coming back in 10 minutes because her job was I had about 100 candles for the office proposal.
Yes.
And your mom and your dad were so helpful in that they stayed back while you and I were out to dinner and they set up these LED candles. And I had, I don't know, 10 or 12 regular candles.
Yeah, fire candles and then electric or battery operated candles.
Yeah, because we wanted to make sure that whatever happened in the office where the sprinklers go off, we didn't want that to happen.
Because we actually do have sprinklers in our condo, so it would have been very bad.
So your mom is taking care of the setting up the candles, and I'm just sending them a little courtesy text of like we're finishing up dinner now. We've just paid the bill. We're going to be on our way back. And I forget what she texted, but I think in hindsight she had said like, oh my gosh, I gotta get everything ready, like they're coming back in 10 minutes. But on the walk back, you and I were just walking and you turned to me and said, you know, I really thought you were gonna propose tonight.
I can't hold in a thought. Not with you. I think I told you this when we first met. I'm like, you're human truth serum to me. I would like to tell you every thought I have. And I have to tell you, I really thought you were going to propose at dinner. I couldn't not tell you.
And to me, this is music to my ears because I'm like, yes. Like the fact that she's telling me this means that she has no idea. So I am as coy can be, as best as I can, because I'm nervous. I've left the ring at home because I don't want to have this bulge in my pocket as I'm walking. If you would have seen that, it would have given it away.
Yeah, it would have.
So, you know, I'm receiving what you're saying of like, I really thought you were going to propose tonight. And I said, oh, really? You would have preferred if I had done it at home?
No. I think I said, I really prefer I thought you were going to propose tonight. And then I'm like, but I'm kind of glad you did it at the restaurant because honestly, I would have rather have you do it at home. Mm-hmm. And then you're like, oh, really? You would have rather have me do it at home? I'm like, but I guess you're going to do it in Australia. And that's fine. I understand why you waited until then. But if you could just do it at the beginning of the trip, that would be great because I can't handle the pressure of knowing it's going to happen and waiting for it anymore.
And I was like, Noted. All right.
Because I was like, if it's going to happen at the end of the Australia trip, the whole trip I'm going to be on edge being like, is it now? Is it now? Is it now?
And it, you know, so I'm just receiving all this, like my inside, I'm just laughing hysterically of like, yes, I'm celebrating. And, you know, so I'm asking you even more questions and I'm like, oh yeah, I guess at home would be better because your parents are in town and it would be before the trip. Yeah, that makes sense. That all makes sense. So we, you know, get to the condo door, we go inside, then we are on the threshold, and I'm kind of like jingling the keys a little more than I normally would, kind of like alerting.
And just for the listener, there's a door on the outside of our condo that you have to get in order to get to our front door. So we got in through that door, and now we're right in front of the threshold of our door.
Mm-hmm. And so I'm like making it known, you know, to your parents on the inside that we're there. And to their credit, they were ready. They had set up your iPad to be able to film like a master shot of everything that was going on. And then they individually had their own phones and they were filming. And we entered, opened up the door, crossed the threshold, and I think you knew immediately just the way that the lights and the candles and the rose petals on the floor.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I started laughing hysterically. The reason for it is this. So we walk in and we see all the beautiful setup that they have, and then my parents are standing there with their cameras. And I think I was just laughing hysterically because I couldn't believe they got me. I was like, I could have cracked this case and I didn't. But I also was so happy that they got me because I'm like, this is so special. And then Tim said that iconic line to me from The Office. And then I knew I dropped it. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe he did this for me. Mm-hmm. Say the iconic line. Do you remember it?
I think it's this will be the hardest test of our relationship so far. After this, it's smooth sailing from here on out.
Yeah.
Or the hardest test of our love so far.
Yeah, I think it's like the hardest test our love has faced so far. After this, it's smooth sailing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so then I was like, oh my God, he's doing the Michael Scott and Holly proposal. So then he led me into the circle of, like, because he made this huge circle with all these candles and he led me into the center of it. And you were like, Lauren Louise, Verbato Lagrasso.
Yeah, I gave my little speech. Just, you know, we've traveled. Yeah. We've, you know, I'm in love with you.
Yeah. You said, you are the best person in the entire world. No, you didn't say that.
My heart said it through my gestures.
What did you say? You were like, we've traveled the skies or something.
Yeah, we mapped our destinies in the sky. This is a lot less romantic than the moment because
it was really romantic. It was beautiful.
I will say I was rehearsing it like all day, and I was like, yeah. I mean,
you memorized it.
I memorized it because I wanted it to come from the heart. I wanted something that was written, but I wanted something that was coming from the heart too. I didn't want it robotic.
Are you memorizing your vows?
No.
Oh, good.
No.
I can't because mine are too long.
Too much pressure. Way too much pressure. But this was a little easier because of just the theatrics of it and the intimacy of it too. Right. And like, you know, it was all coming from the heart. But I was so nervous earlier that day that your mom had made this like salmon meal, and it's like salmon. It's so light, and I could have like only a few bites.
Yeah.
I was like, I just can't eat this. Like I'm feeling all the emotions right now. So, but that night, got down on one knee, gave my speech, and then, asked you to marry me. And she said yes.
She said yes. Yes, I did. I think I said I would love to. Because you asked, would I marry you? And I said, yes, I would love to. And then we kissed. And so after all the hysterical laughing, then I started hysterically crying. I'm nothing if not diverse. I'm always shocked by how many emotions I can feel in one day. I'm like, how is it even possible that one human has all these different feelings in their body? So anyway, it was just so beautiful, and having my parents here meant so much, and that you were all working out together meant so much. It was like everything I could have ever wanted, and just incorporating The Office, the show that has gotten me through all the hardest times of my life and has really been such a comfort and a friend to me. It just was perfect, and it was the perfect way to start our wedding journey. Mm-hmm. I think that this might be like part one, and I think we can go into like a part two now, talking about the actual wedding planning.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, because that took so much longer than I thought, but it was such an important story to tell because we told our whole love journey on the podcast. And I think it was just so important to talk about the engagement journey and what that was like and how we got there. I want to pause there and come back in a few days for the episode about the wedding planning process, what it has been like, what we're excited about marriage, how we've gone on our own self-development journeys, what we've learned about our relationship with each other, with others, all that good stuff. Justice for Bridezillas, of course. So come back to hear part 2 of our wedding special on Unleash Your Inner Creative. Yay!
Yay!
Love you and believe in you. Come back next week.